Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Raymond School Fields, where we are set to bring you Brockton Blazers softball. Tonight's matchup is a 12U White Division South Shore Summer Softball League game between visiting Pembroke and your Brockton Blazers. Brockton taking the field here to get ready to kick off the first inning. Pembroke entering into play with a record of 1-0, and the Blazers looking to bounce back from a loss in their first game of the season on Monday. Let's take a look at the starting lineups. For visiting Pembroke, we have Katie leading off, with Savannah batting second, Bridget batting third, Gianna batting fourth, Abby batting fifth, Courtney batting sixth, Nina batting seventh, Leah batting eighth, Cadence batting ninth, Peyton batting 10th, and Emmy batting 11th. For the Blazers, it's Leia leading off, Tyshana batting second, Ada batting third, Avery fourth, Cassie fifth, Maya sixth, Kaylee seventh, Kayla eighth, Amelia ninth, Divine 10th, and Kylie 11th. And we are just about set to get underway here as Katie will step in and lead things off for Pembroke here in the first. Moody will be the starting pitcher here. First pitch misses outside for ball one. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Popped up foul off the first base side, and it drops down there for strike one. Katie now back in the box. Tyshana gets set. And the 1-1 pitch. Swinging a ground ball towards shortstop, and it gets through into center field for a hit. Katie will round first, and she will hang there with a single to lead things off. That's going to bring Savannah up to bat next. One on, nobody out here in the top of the first. Pitch. Runner goes. It's popped up in the air, high towards second base, and it drops down into shallow center field. Both runners are safe, and Savannah has a single. Bridget will be the next hitter here for Pembroke. Here's the pitch. Up high, ball one. Sean is set. The 1-0. Up high, ball two. Runners at first and second here. Still nobody out in the top of the first. 2-0 pitch. Swinging a ground ball towards shortstop, and it gets through into the outfield. Katie is going to come around, and she will score. Savannah heads into third and will be held there. And Bridget has an RBI single. Pembroke on the board. Gianna, the next hitter here for Pembroke. First pitch is grounded towards shortstop, and it gets out into the outfield. Another run is in. Bridget ends up at third. Still runners to the corners here now as Abby takes the first pitch inside for ball one. Tyshawn is ready. And the 1-0 pitch. Swinging a grounder to short. Fielded there. The throw to first is off target. 2 runs come in to score. And just like that, Pembroke is up 4-0. First pitch to Courtney is grounded back to the box. Tyshauna throws to first, and it's not handled cleanly there. Courtney gets the second, and Pembroke now has 2 in scoring position. Nina stepping into the box next for Pembroke. First pitch is swung on and missed for strike 1. Sean is set. The 0-1. Down low, evens the count up at 1 ball and 1 strike. The pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. One ball and 2 strikes to count here on Nina. Still nobody out in the top of the first. The pitch. Fouled back. Count remains 1-2. Everyone's ready. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Down low, it gets by the catcher, but there will be no advance. Both runners staying put for Pembroke. Pitcher's ready. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a ground ball, foul off the third base side. Count remains 2-2 here. Nina's back in the box and ready. Tyshauna winds and delivers. Called strike 3. The throw to first on the drop third is not handled there. A run comes in to score. And that is the 5th run, and that will bring the top of the first inning to a close. So Pembroke puts up 5 as we head to the home half of the first. Pembroke 5, Brockton coming up. All right, we're back here for the home half of the first inning. Leia will lead things off for the Blazers. First pitch is swung and grounded back to the pitcher. She throws to first for the out. One down here for Brockton. Taishana steps up to bat next. First pitch misses up for a ball. Swing and a miss. Evens count up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count here on Taishana. The pitch. Down and in. Evens the count up again at 2-2. Everyone's set. Pitcher winds and delivers. Down and in again. Count runs full. Here comes the payoff pitch. Ball 4. Taishana draws a 1-out walk. Ada standing in next here for Brockton. 1 on, 1 out in the home half of the first. Pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Ada's back in the box. The 0-1 pitch. Strike 2. Runner goes, and she is safe at second. First runner in scoring position here for the Blazers. And here comes the 2-strike pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. 2 outs now in the inning. Brings Avery up to bat for Brockton. Pitch. In there for a called strike. Here comes the 0-1. Up high, gets by the catcher. And Taishana will advance to third on the play. Counts even up at 1-1. Just ready. Here it comes. Down low. 2 balls and 1 strike to the count now to Avery. The pitch. Fouled back. Count runs even again. 2-2. And the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and grounded over to third. It's fielded there. The throw to home is not in time. Avery reaches on the fielder's choice, and Brockton has their first run of the game. Cassie steps in next here for Brockton with 2 down. Pitch is there for a called strike. Pitcher set. And here comes the 0-1. Down low. Gets away from the catcher, and that is going to allow Avery to advance to second. One and one the count here. Runner at second, 2 down. Brockton trailing by 4 here in the bottom of the first. Here's the pitch. Over the inside corner, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count here on Cassie. Pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3, and that will retire the side to end the top of the first. With 1 completed inning, we head to the second. Pembroke 5, Brockton 1. We're set for the start of the second inning here as Pembroke comes up to bat leading by 4. Leah will lead things off. First pitch is popped up over towards first. It's fielded there, and Ada makes the play for the first out of the inning. Cadence will step in for Pembroke with 1 down. The pitch. Oh, and it hits her. Cadence looks all right. She heads on to first after the hit by pitch. That puts 1 on with 1 out now as Peyton steps in. Here's the pitch. Swinging a line drive over towards shortstop. It drops down there. And heck of an effort by Leia. Just couldn't quite come up with it, and Peyton ends up on first with a single. Runners at first and second now as Emmy will be the hitter. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. It gets by the catcher, and no advance. Tyshawn is set. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a pop-up into left field. It drops down for a hit. Runner is going to be waved around third, and she will score as Emmy picks up an RBI single. Back to the top of the order here for Pembroke as Katie steps in. She singled and scored her first time up. She swings at the first pitch, grounds it over to third. It's fielded there. The tag is applied for the out. The throw to first is not in time. Runner almost advanced over to third, but decided to go back. So after it all shakes out, there's 2 down now. Katie reaching on the fielder's choice. First pitch to Savannah is popped up, foul, out of play. Savannah singled and scored in the first inning. The pitch, down low for a ball. Evens count up at 1-1. The 1-1. Over the inside corner for a called strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count here on Savannah. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that will bring the top of the second inning to a close. 1 run across for Pembroke, and as we head to the home half of the second inning, Pembroke 6, Brockton 1. All right, we're set here for the bottom of the second inning. Brockton comes up trailing by 5. Maya leading things off for the Blazers. First pitch misses away for a ball. The 1-0 pitch. In there for strike 1. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a ground ball, foul. One ball, 2 strikes to count on Maya. Here's the pitch. Misses low, ball 2. The 2-2 pitch. Down low and the count's full. Here's the payoff pitch. It's called strike 3. 1 out now here in the bottom of the second as Kaylee comes up to bat next. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. The 0-1. Down low, count evens up at 1-1. Pitch. Checked her swing. 2 balls and 1 strike. The count now on Kaylee. And the pitch. Swung on and missed. Counts full. Here we go with our second batter, second payoff pitch. Over the inside corner for a called strike 3. 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the second as Kayla steps up next. Pitch. In there for strike 1. The 0-1 pitch. Down and in. Ball and a strike here on Kayla. Pitch misses up high. Ball 2. The 2-1 pitch. Evens the count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Inside of the count runs full. Third consecutive full count here in the bottom of the second, and the payoff pitch. Up and outside, ball 4. Kayla draws a 2-out walk.
You got this, dude. Choke up, elbow up, rip it.
1 on now, 2 outs here as Amelia stands in. Squares to bunt and takes a strike. The 0-1 pitch. Inside. Counts even at 1-1. Pitcher winds and delivers. In there for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The count here on Amelia. 2 down in the bottom of the second. Here's the pitch. Right down the Broadway for strike 3. That'll bring the home half of the second inning to a close. 3 strikeouts recorded there in the inning. We've completed 2 full innings. Pembroke 6, Brockton 1.
Come on, Amelia, hustle up.
All right, we're set for the start of the third inning here. Pembroke still up by 5. Bridget leading things off here for Pembroke. She singled and scored back in the first. Ground ball to third. Fielded there. The throw to first is not going to be in time. Infield single for Bridget to lead things off. Amelia, the new pitcher here for Brockton this inning. That'll bring up Gianna. She reached on an error and scored back in the first inning. The pitch misses inside. Runner goes. The throw to second is not in time. Here's the 0-1 pitch. High and outside. Gets to the backstop, and that allows the runner to go to third. Here's the 1-1. Inside. 2 balls and 1 strike, the count here on Gianna. Amelia set. And she delivers. Down and in, gets by the catcher. Ball 4 on Gianna. She'll take first. Oh, the first pitch to Abby hits her, and she will take first on the hit by pitch. Bases loaded now here for Pembroke as Courtney comes up. She reached on an error her first time up. Here's the pitch. Over the outside corner for a called strike 1. Here's the 0-1. Down low, gets by the catcher. The runner's going to try and score, and she will make it. Bridget comes on in. And we finally have the ball back to the pitcher. 1-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count now here on Courtney. Amelia set. She delivers. Down and in, the count's even. 2-2. Amelia set. And the 2-2 pitch. Swinging a line, drive to short, caught there. Tag applied to the runner. Double play by Brockton. And just like that, there's quickly 2 away in the inning. Runner still at third. 2 down now as Nina comes up to bat. She reached on a pass, on a drop third strike her first time up. She takes the first pitch down and in for a ball. Everyone's set. Amelia's ready. And the 1-0. Swung on and grounded over towards second, and it gets into center field for a hit. Gianna comes in to score, and Nina has an RBI single. Pembroke now up 8-1. Leah steps up next. First pitch is fouled off of her bat. The not often seen pitch behind the batter that ends up as a foul ball strike. Amelia's ready, and the 0-1 pitch in there for strike two. Amelia quickly ahead in the count now. No balls and 2 strikes. The 2-strike pitch. Down and low, it gets by the catcher, and that will allow Nina to get to second base. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count now here on Leah. Amelia winds and delivers. Down low, counts evened up at 2-2. She's set. And the 2-2 pitch. Back to the backstop. Allows Nina to get to third base. And the count runs full. Here comes the payoff pitch. Fouled off the first base side. Amelia gets ready. Here comes another 3-2 pitch. Down low, gets by the catcher. And the run will come in to score as Leah draws the walk. Caden steps into the box next here for Pembroke. She was hit by a pitch and scored her first time up. She fouls the first pitch off. Here it comes. Up high ball. Counts even at 1-1. Comes the pitch. Down and inside. 2 balls and 1 strike, the count now here on Cadence. Amelia gets set, and she delivers. Down and in again, ball 3. Amelia's ready, and here comes the pitch. Swinging a ground ball back to the pitcher. Amelia fields it though. She couldn't quite hang on to it. And Cadence will reach with a single. Tough play for the pitcher to make there. Had to go to the backhand off the opposite way that she falls off from her delivery. First pitch to Peyton misses for a ball. And the runner at second will advance to third. Peyton singled her first time up at bat. The 1-0. Outside, ball 2. The pitch. Up high, goes to the backstop. Runner at first, Cadence, will advance to second, but no advance from third. 3 balls and no strikes. The count here on Peyton. Here it comes. And it hit her. Peyton will take first on the hit by pitch, and that will load up the bases here with 2 down. Emmy steps into the box. She singled last inning. First pitch from Amelia is fouled off. Everyone's reset. Amelia's ready. And she delivers. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. The 0-2 pitch. Fouled off. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Two-strike pitch again. Up high, ball 1. It goes to the backstop, but everybody holds. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count here on Emmy. 2 down, bases loaded here in the top of the 3rd. Pembroke up by 8. And the pitch hits her. That'll bring home a run. All right, conference at the mound has ended. Katie steps in. She's reached on a single and a fielder's choice so far. She swings and misses at the first pitch for strike 1. And another hit by pitch. That's going to bring in the 5th run of the inning, and that is going to bring the top of the 3rd to a conclusion. Pembroke pushes across 5 more runs, and as we head to the bottom half of the 3rd inning, Pembroke 11, Brockton 1. And we're back here for the bottom half of the third inning. Brockton trailing by 10. Devine leading things off for the Blazers, and she's hit by the first pitch of the inning. Leadoff runner on here for Brockton as Kylie steps in. First pitch is there for a strike. Runner goes. The throw down to second is not. Oh, Devine's going to keep going to third. And she makes it all the way to third. Interesting bit of base running by Devine, but it paid off. Pitch misses up high. Here comes the 1-1. And it hits her. Kylie heads down to first, and now Brockton has runners at the corners with nobody out as Leia steps up. Looking for her first hit of the game. Pitch. Fouled back. Pitcher's ready. And the 0-1. Up high, ball one. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. Runner goes from first, and she'll take second on the defensive indifference. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count here on Kylie. Here comes the pitch. Swung on. I'm sorry, that was Leia, but swung. Either way, strike 3, and that's the first out of the inning. 2 in scoring position here with 1 down as Tyshana comes up. She walked and scored back in the first inning. She grounds the first pitch back up the middle into the outfield for a hit. Devine comes in to score. And Tyshana has herself an RBI single. Ada, the next hitter here for Brockton. Here comes the pitch. Swung on and popped up, foul, out of play. And out of range for me to make a play as well. All right, we've got a ball back in play. And here comes the 0-1 pitch. Inside, count runs even, 1-1. Tyshana takes second on the defensive indifference. Easy for me to say. Here's the 1-1. Swung on and popped up, foul, out of play again. And a great play made in the stands, but a terrible throw back in. You'll have to take my word on all of that as it was off camera, but 1 ball, 2 strikes to count here on Ada. Here's the pitch. Popped up over towards second. It drops down. And we've got Kylie coming in. She scores. Everybody's safe. Avery comes up next here for Brockton. Runners at the corners, 1 out. Avery reached on the fielder's choice back in the first inning. She takes the first pitch for a called strike. Pitcher's ready. She winds and delivers. Swung on a missed strike 2. It gets by the catcher. Tyshawn is going to try and score, and she makes it. Ada advances all the way to third on the play. Two strikes here, the count on Avery. Here's the pitch. In there for a called strike 3, and that is the second out of the inning. Cassie steps into the box next here for the Blazers. Here's the pitch. Down low for a ball. The pitch. Popped up into shallow right. Oh, the first baseman makes a great catch. And that ends the third inning. But not before Brockton picks up 3 runs as we head to the fourth inning. Pembroke 11, Brockton 4. All right, we're set to start the fourth inning here. Pembroke leading by 7. Savannah leading things off here for Pembroke. She singled and scored back in the first inning. First pitch is grounded over towards first base. It's fielded there, and Tyshawn takes it herself for the out. I'll bring Bridget up here with 1 out for Pembroke. She's singled twice and scored twice so far tonight. The pitch. Up high for a ball. Amelia's set. The pitch. Swinging grounded, foul off the third base side. That'll leave the count up at 1-1. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count here on Bridget. The 1-2 pitch. Down low, counts evened up again at 2-2. We're set for the 2-2 pitch. And it hits her. Bridget heads down to first on the hit by pitch. That puts 1 on with 1 out as Gianna comes up. She's reached on an error and walked. Scored twice so far tonight. Here's the pitch. Hit into the air into center field. And it's caught there. Leia makes the catch out in center field for the second out of the inning. Abby steps in next here for Pembroke. She's reached both times up and scored once. First pitch, runner goes. Oh, and it hits her. That puts runners on first and second here with 2 down as Courtney comes up. She reached on an error in her first time up. Here's the pitch. Fouled off. Courtney's back in the box. Amelia's on the rubber. And the 0-1. Behind her for ball 1 gets to the backstop. And both runners advance. Cassie's going to go out to talk to her pitcher. One and one the count. Here's the pitch. High runner's going to try and come in, and she's going to make it easily. Abby advances to third as Bridget scores. Here's the 2-1. Down low for ball 3. Amelia gets set, and she delivers. Up high, ball 4. It gets by the catcher, but looks like not far enough for the runner to try and score. Runners at the corners here now with 2 outs. Nina comes up to bat. She's reached on a drop third strike and singled so far tonight. Scored once. First pitch is down and in. Courtney will advance to second. Here's the 1-0. In there for a strike. Evens the count at 1-1. Amelia's ready. Pitch is up high. Runner's going to try and score. And she comes in to score. Two balls, one strike to count here on Nina. Pitch. Outside. Oh, the runner's going to come. And she gets in. Here comes the 3-1. Fouled off. Counts full. He's ready, and here's the payoff pitch. Up high, ball 4. Leah steps in. She walked and scored in her last plate appearance. Pitch, runner goes. And she'll take second with no throw. Pitch. And it hits her. Runner will have to go back to second. Runners at first and second. 2 down, still here in the top of the 4th as Caden steps in. She was hit by a pitch and singled so far today. She scored twice. Down and in. Runner goes to third. And she gets there safely. Here's the pitch. Down and in again. Here's the 2-0. Inside, ball 3. Up and away, ball 4. It loads the bases here as Peyton comes up. She's singled and been hit by a pitch so far in this game. First pitch misses up and away, gets by the catcher, but no attempt to advance. Here's the 0-1. Grounded back over to short. Fielded there. And the out is made at second, and that will bring the inning to a close. 3 runs across for Pembroke, and as we head to the bottom half of the 4th inning, Pembroke 14, Brockton 4. All right, we're set for the home half of the fourth inning here. Brockton trailing by 10. Maya will lead things off here for the Blazers. And she's hit by the first pitch. Maya heads down to first. That'll bring Kaylee up to bat.
Kaylee.
At some point. There we go. Now Kaylee's set. She steps into the box. First pitch is up high for a ball. Here's the 1-0. Right there for strike one. Here's the pitch. Over the inside corner for called strike two. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count here on Kaylee. Here's the pitch. Down and in, the count's even 2-2. Fouled off the first base side. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Good battle, good battle.
Here's the pitch. Down and in, gets by the catcher, and Maya is going to advance to second. And the count on Kaylee is full. Here's the payoff pitch. Down and in, ball 4. Kaylee heads to first with the walk. That puts runners at first and second here. Nobody out as Kayla steps in. She walked her first time up. First pitch over the inside corner for a called strike. Here's the 0-1. Up high, counts even at 1-1. Pitcher set. The 1-1 pitch. Called strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count here on Kayla. Pitch. Right there for called strike 3. And that's the first out of the inning. That'll bring Amelia up next. She squares.
Go, 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 go. Ball's alive.
Here's the pitch. She squares again. She gets the bunt down. Fielded by the pitcher. She throws home, but there's no play to be made there, and everybody's safe. That loads the bases up here for Devine. She was hit by a pitch and scored her first time up. First pitch goes to the backstop for a ball. One on. Gets to the backstop again. Runner's going to try and score. And she slides in safely. Maya comes in to score. Both other runners advance. Here's the 2-0. Swung on and missed. 2 balls and a strike now the count here on Devine. Here's the pitch. Over the inside corner, the count's evened at 2-2. The pitch. Swung on and missed for strike 3. 2 down now in the inning. Kylie steps in. She was hit by a pitch and scored last inning. First pitch misses inside for a ball. Here's the 1-0. Called strike 1. The 1-1. Strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The count here on Kylie. 2 down in the bottom of the 4th. 2 in scoring position here for the Blazers. And the 1-2 pitch misses inside, evens the count at 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. Called strike 3. That brings the inning to an end. Brockton does pick up a run. And as we go to the 5th inning, Pembroke 14, Brockton 5. We're set to start the 5th inning here. Emmy leading things off here for Pembroke. She's singled and been hit by a pitch so far. She pops the first pitch up, and it's caught there by Avery for the first out of the inning. Katie will be the next hitter here for Pembroke. She's singled, reached on a fielder's choice, been hit by a pitch, has 1 run scored so far tonight. She swings at the first pitch, hits it out to left field, and it drops down. Katie comes on into second with a double. That'll bring Savannah up. She singled and scored back in the first inning. First pitch is swung on and missed for strike one. Here's the 0-1. Up high for a ball. Runner goes to third on the delayed steal, and she'll get there. Here's the 1-1. Outside, 2 balls and 1 strike, the count here on Savannah. The 2-1 pitch. Swung on a popped up foul, out of play. Just out of my reach. 2-2 the count now on Savannah. All right, everyone's set here. And the pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. It's dropped, but Avery applies the tag for the out. 2 outs now in the inning. That brings Bridget up. She's singled twice, been hit by a pitch, scored all 3 times up at bat. First pitch is grounded over to short, fielded there. The throw to first is in time for the out that retires the side. No runs across, and as we head to the bottom half of the 5th inning, Pembroke 14, Brockton 5. All right, we're back here for the bottom half of the 5th inning. Brockton trailing by 9. Leah will lead things off. First pitch swung on and missed for a strike. Here's the 0-1. Inside. Evens the count at 1-1. The pitch. Called strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The count here on Leia. Here's the pitch. Down and in. Counts evened up 2-2. Pitch is on the way. Right there for a called strike 3. 1 down here in the bottom half of the 5th. Going to bring Tyshawn up. She's walked and singled, scored twice so far tonight. She takes the first pitch down for a ball. Tyshawn is back in the box. The 1-0 pitch. Called strike. Evens it up at 1-1. The pitch. Swung on and missed. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count here on Tyshawn. The 1-2 pitch. Misses high, evens the count up 2-2. Here it comes. Couldn't hold off her swing. Strike 3. 2 quick outs here in the home half of the 5th. Ada stands in. She singled her last time up. First pitch is swung on and grounded down the third base line. Foul. Pitcher set, and the 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. Ada quickly in the hole, 0-2. Here's the 2-strike pitch. Fouled off the first base side. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes. And here it comes. Swinging a ground ball over to first. Fielded there and taken for the out. That will end the 5th inning. No runs across for Brockton. We've completed 5 full innings. Pembroke 14, Brockton 5.
Now I can actually see the sun isn't there. Like that?
This is going to be the last one.
All right, we're set here to kick off the 6th inning. Gianna steps in. She reached on an error and walked earlier in the game. She takes the first pitch for a ball. Swing and a pop-up foul off the first base side. Not a play. Evens count at 1-1. Here's the pitch. Over the inside corner for a called strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count here on Gianna. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Drop there. Tag is applied for the out. One away here now in the top of the 6th. Abby steps up. She's reached on an error. Hit by a pitch. She scored twice, reached all 3 times she's been up at bat. First pitch misses outside. Swinging a line drive back up the middle into center field, for a hit. Abby reaches for the 4th time in the game. Courtney will be the next hitter. She's reached on an error and walked, has 1 run scored so far tonight. First pitch is popped up into center field, It's caught by Kayla out there. And that's the 2nd out of the inning. Nina steps in next. She's reached all 3 times. Reached on a drop third strike, a single and a walk. 1 run scored so far in the evening. She swings at the first pitch. The runner goes, and there's no throw down to second. Here's the 0-1. Swinging a ground ball over to short. And the runner is called out on interference, and that will bring the inning to a close. No runs across. We go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Pembroke 14, Brockton 5. All right, we're back here for the home half of the 6th inning. Brockton trailing by 9. Avery will lead things off for the Blazers. She reached on a fielder's choice back in the 1st inning. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Down and in, counts evened up, 1-1. Pitcher's ready, and she delivers. Misses low, 2 balls and 1 strike the count here on Avery. The 2-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. Counts evened up, 2-2. Up high, the count's full. Here comes the payoff pitch. Filed back, and we'll do it all over again. Oh no, the camera! We lost our view. Here's the 3-2. Ball 4, Avery will take first on the walk. We'll do our best to give you the play-by-play here. First pitch to Cassie is down and in. It gets by the catcher, and Avery advances to second. Swing and a miss for strike 1. One and 1 the count here on Cassie. Here comes the pitch. Down low, ball 2. Pitcher's ready. The 2-1 pitch. Over the outside corner, called strike 2. Runner goes to third, and she makes it there safely. Swinging a ground ball over to short. It's fielded there. The throw to first is in time for the out. The run comes in to score. And we're going to try and see if we can get the camera back in for you guys. So hold on one moment. We're back. Meyer reached on a walk. First pitch to Kaylee's down and in. And Maya advances to second. Down and in, ball 2. The 2-0 misses up high. 3 balls, no strikes. He had the count on Kaylee. Here's the 3-0. Down and in, ball 4. That's going to put runners at first and second here now with 1 down. Kayla will be the hitter. She walked back in the second inning. First pitch to Kayla misses outside for a ball. Here's the 1-0. Over the inside corner. Evens the count up at 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fouled off to the right side. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The count now here on Kayla. 2 on, 1 out. Bottom half of the 6th inning. Brockton down 8. Fouled off. Pitcher's ready. Another 1-2 pitch. Down and in, evens the count at 2-2. Pitcher winds, and she delivers. Fouled back. Kayla spoiling some pitches here. Here's the pitch. Up high. Runner goes. And she slides in safely. Umpire checking to see if her foot had come off the base. Payoff pitch to Kayla. Over the inside corner for a called strike 3. 2 outs now in the inning. That'll bring Amelia up. She bunted her way on with a fielder's choice last time up. She squares again, and she bunts foul. The pitch. Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the 1-1. Right there for strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count here on Amelia. Here's the 1-2. Called strike 3. And that brings the inning to a close. Brockton does pick up a run as we head to the Oh, no, it looks like that's it. As the teams congratulate each other, your final score, Pembroke 14, Brockton 6. Thanks for joining us here, and we'll catch you next time for more Brockton Blazers softball.